All right, guys, how you guys doing today? Today is June 4th, 2025. What I wanted to talk to you guys about, and for people who are not into trucking, they may not be aware about this law. It's been on the books, but it's recently being enforced now nationwide. Now, this law regarding truck drivers like myself, I don't actually have a concern for it for myself, but my concern is for other drivers who are in position to be affected by this law. And what this law is if you can't, speak, read, or understand the English language, they'll literally give you something to read. And if you can't read it on the spot, could be by a DOT wait station, you get pulled in. It actually happened to me, believe it or not. I was going westbound in Arkansas right before entering Oklahoma, and they stopped me, and they gave me that quick test, and they asked me, I was actually insulted, because I assumed and thought that the DOT officer during our conversation can understand that I could speak and possibly read and write. So when he told me that, I thought it was a joke and I was insulted. And then he told me that if you can't, that you can be arrested and pulled out of your truck and put out of service and all that kind of stuff. So I read it, but again, my intelligence was insulted. Then it hit me and dawned on me, how about a lot of these truckers, let's use the Mexican truck drivers coming out of, say, Laredo or El Paso, and those major crossings, even in California, by San Diego. I mean, all this should have been addressed when the driver earned his CDL and he passed. Maybe he shouldn't even got the CDL if he wasn't prolific in the English language, especially if it was a law on the books that was not being enforced, but all of a sudden. And don't get me wrong, I don't like to talk politics and all that, but I am a Trump supporter, okay? But now with this being enforced, I don't think it's fair to these guys, especially if they've already driven. They understand the roads, they understand the signs. I would imagine by now they've already got a few years under their belts. I mean, it doesn't make me feel happy to see somebody yanked out of a truck like that. Now, I know there's going to be huge debate, okay? Because, a lot of us are kind of a little narrow-minded, and we could think selfish, like, that guy's going to take away my job, so I'd rather see him off the road. It's going to help freight rates. It's going to be more loads. We're going to have the angle of able to charge more and all that. I understand that. But let's break it down real simple, man. This guy or girl is driving, trying to support their family. They've already passed the road test, whatever exams that we're supposed to have, and now you're going to go check to see if they understand and speak English and stuff. I mean, America, we're a melting pot, so we got people from everywhere. China, India, Russia, everybody like that driving. So to me, what you do is, if you stop and you find an individual that doesn't pass that verbal skills and understanding the English language and all that, is he legally qualified to drive? Does he have a current DOT certificate of fitness? It hasn't expired. Their CDL's in effect. Their insurance registration. Okay. What you do is you issue him paperwork, summons or whatnot, to appear in court or have so many days to pass some type of test that's supervised, of course, and you handle it that way. You don't, there's a load in that truck. Now the broker, that receiver, that shipper, the owner of the product, you inconvenience so many people, okay? So my thinking is just handle it. Okay, you want to enforce something now? All right, but there's ways about it. Give that man or woman who got stopped and is being accused of not understanding the English language enough to drive a truck? I don't know. I mean, so I just don't think it's fair. You know, at the end of the day, we want to sleep, have a good conscience, and maybe some of y'all can sleep. Maybe to some of you people, it's okay. You don't have a problem with that. Yank them off the road. But guess what? That same person is driving a car on a road. So what difference does it make? Okay, is it because he's driving a truck? He's more dangerous in a truck? There's people getting killed in car accidents, drinking and driving, multiple DUIs, DWIs, all that crap. And these people are still driving. They're figuring out ways how to extract more money out of them. You know, with one of those machines where the breathalyzer is attached to the vehicle, have lawyer representation. I've heard people spending $10,000, $20,000 or more, okay, to try to get their license back. And yes, they were guilty of drinking under the influence. But maybe they learned their lesson, maybe they didn't. But here we are. We're gonna take their livelihood away and yank a driver license for a couple years or months or what have you. I just don't think it's fair, especially when we're getting back to driving trucks for just the sole reason of not being able to speak English. I don't know. Like I said, if you guys did that as soon as it passed the road test before you give the license, now have that whatever English speaking, reading exam you wanted at that time, because the law, from my understanding, was already on the books. Why didn't you enforce it? Here, flip the script back to Bill Clinton. Yes, our beloved president, you know. He pushed for the NAFTA to come in. Why not include in that NAFTA when he allowed trucks to pull loads directly out of New Mexico into the United States? Why wasn't it enforced? It should have been, right? No. I heard something the other day that Bill Clinton was in office. Before entering office, he was worth maybe $1 million or something like that. When he left after 2 terms, he was well worth over $200 million. Went in with a few mil, come out with a couple $100 million, and everything was on the up and up? I don't think so. So people making money on the down low. And now you're going to enforce? So, yeah, I'm okay with enforcing it, but enforce it in a reasonable manner, okay? When you needed these drivers, you weren't enforcing it during COVID, right? When all the rates were really sky high and there was a shortage of trucks. You weren't enforcing it during COVID, but you're enforcing it now. There's something to think about. I'm curious, guys, what your angle and your thoughts and comments are on this, but just gotta be fair, okay? Like I said, it don't affect me, but it affects some other people. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have a conscience and be able to sleep at night. All right. Well, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Please like, share, and subscribe, and definitely leave your comments in the comment section because I'm interested in hearing what you got to say. God bless, and wow.